We are back with more Kill Team goodness. We have the new Kill Team Dead Silence box set, which contains the new Space Wolf Scouts, which are not in Scout armor, which is quite interesting, and the awesome new Stealth battle suits for the T'au, which are also a huge upgrade. The old Stealth suits were my least favorite kit from the old T'au army. I absolutely despise those. I don't know why they triggered me so bad, but I just, compared to the battle suits, I hated them. These new ones are absolutely fantastic and I can't wait to paint them, but it will not be in today's video. In today's video, I'm going to focus on the Wolf Scouts and get one of those painted up for you guys, show you how to do it quickly, cleanly, effectively, and have them on the table in absolutely no time at all. I'm going to focus on them not for Kill Team, and by that I mean I've constructed the kit to be a standard unit of 5 Space Wolf Scouts to go into my Space Wolf army, as opposed to all the different WASI designs to be played in Kill Team. That's just what I've decided to do with my box set. Obviously, all the same kind of tips and tricks on this video will translate directly over if you're doing them to Kill Team as well. Before I get into the video though, I just want to say, as always, a huge thank you to all of my active patrons and everyone that has joined in the last couple of weeks. It has been a nice, successful few months with the Patreon. And obviously we grow bigger and stronger every single day thanks to you awesome people. Obviously, there's a bunch of reasons to be involved in Patreon. You get access to an extra video every single week. We give you extra podcast episodes, access to a private Discord server where you can hang out with us on a daily basis, talk about your hobby. There's painting competitions, there's community showcases, and there's giveaways every single month. We gave a Night Titan away last month, and this month we are giving away a Dark Eldar army. So if you're interested in winning the real Space Raider Battle Force box set, all you need to do is be a member of Patreon at any tier. Okay, without further ado, let's dive in and get working on these Space Wolves. So we have here the beautiful new Space Wolf Scouts. Some people seem to be upset that they're not in Scout armor. I'm on the fence a little bit. I did really enjoy, and I do really enjoy Scout armor. And since we just got new Primaris Scouts, I thought it was a little bit of kind of a shift that they decided to go for the Phobos armor for these guys. But it does look very, very cool. And considering that Space Wolf Scouts are not new recruits, they are not the novitiates, they're not the new members of the thing. They are elite soldiers. The Space Wolf Scouts have always been an elite fighting force. And it really shows with these miniatures. Like I said in the intro, I decided to construct these guys as a standard Space Wolf Scout squad to put in my Space Wolf army. I don't intend to use them particularly for Kill Team, which means I got to use the alternate options. Obviously, there's 2 ways of building every single model in the kit. One build for Kill Team to make kind of special, like hunters and snipers and all that kind of stuff, or you can just make standard Wolf Scouts. There's only options to give Wolf Scouts plasma pistols and close combat weapons. That means that every single standard trooper has a plasma pistol, and the sergeant has a power sword and a plasma pistol. So don't get it twisted. These guys are not light troops. They will sneak up on you and fire off a whole bunch of plasma and then charge in with the ferocity of a Space Wolf, and you're gonna have a bad day. So I think these guys are particularly awesome. I'm okay with the change in armor style. I like that they got a Fenrisian Wolf to join the pack. I think that's kind of one of the smartest things to do is to have. I would have given them 2. I think 2 with the pack would have been really cool. I like the design of that wolf as well. He's very interesting because unlike all of the kind of other Fenrisian wolves that join squads in like leaping and snarling and attacking poses, he's got that lower back hunched down as if he's kind of sneaking or infiltrating with the squad. I think that's a beautiful touch. Whatever designer decided to put the wolf in that particular pose, genius. Love it. When I first started this video, I did briefly consider doing the entire squad in a single video, but I basically got the base coats on all 5 of them and realized that's just not going to happen. I didn't have enough time, so I had to shift tack slightly and just focus on a single Wolf Scout. So I went for this one. I love his open pose. I love the kind of tomahawk style Viking-esque axe he has, and then obviously his plasma pistol in his firing pose. He's got some leather gloves on, obviously keep everything kind of quiet. Really interesting kind of face and hair design. That kind of, I don't know, more savage look at the Space was really just shine through. And I love all the extra equipment off the chest, particularly the downward facing knife. I don't know what it is. All guys have an affinity for knives you can draw down. We don't know why. It just looks really cool. Whatever movie we saw it in first, probably Predator, has always led us to think that it's the coolest way to carry a knife ever, even though it's kind of impractical. Quick on the draw though. So obviously I decided to paint this guy up for that particular reason. Obviously I've thrown a bunch of base coats on him already. If you are curious as to the paint list for these models, I will be posting it all on Patreon as a solid list. So if you need to double check it there, you can of course do it. But for the purpose of this video, The armor was base coated with Space Wolves Grey, and then all the kind of undersuit sections of the armor and the gun casing was Black Templar. The leather was a base coat of Gorgonta fur. The fur and hair of this particular guy, obviously you can change the hair color depending on which wolf guy you're painting. Some of them are going to have ginger hair, some grey, some black, and this guy went for kind of like a blondie colored hair. The kind of Icelandic, Nordic style design showing through for me. Was Skeleton Horde. The weapon handles were Blood Angels red. Skin was Blushing Flesh, which is actually Green Stuff World paint. I've been playing around with that a little while, and I'm really liking the tones I get with the skin, so I've kind of been playing with that for a while. Metallics are all Lead Belcher, and then the shade for the whole thing, you can either do Sepia, or I went for Soft Tone from Army Painter, just to tie it all together. For the layering side of things, the armor was Rust Grey contrast, or sorry, the layering thing was Rust Grey for the layer, and then I gave it a light dry brush of Lead Belcher across the top of the entire thing, just add that kind of chipping and weathering, a little bit worn look to the model. The straps and belts were layered using Mornfang Brown. And then the black sections again, I didn't actually do the undersuit sections, it was just the gun casing, which I'm currently painting here, was Corvus Black. I left the undersuit with just the kind of black contrast paint underneath, and then the shade, I think that's a fine way to leave it. Layering up the hair and fur was Morghast Bone. This color actually looked so good. I was so happy with this particular, the skin tone. So once again, it's that Skeleton Horde shaded with light tone from Army Painter, and then layered up with the Morghast Bone. Gave me a really convincing looking kind of blonde style hair that I really liked. The skin was, once again, because we've shaded it down again, we can go back to that base coat. So we basically used Blushing Flesh for the mid-tone again, and then very light highlight of Elven Flesh, as again from Green Stuff World, gave a skin tone that I was really happy. All in all, the face of this model, I was really happy with how it turned out. The metallics, we went back in with Lead Belcher to add a little bit more chipping and highlighting kind of edges and stuff like that. Then the red handles on his kind of tomahawk and the knife on his chest, we went in with Evil Sun's Scarlet. Sorry, just Evil Suns, not Scarlet, that's a shade. Evil Suns, and then Wild Rider Red for the kind of very kind of edge bits along the lines, some very light stuff there, just to make it pop a little bit more. Then we moved over to the very interesting plasma coils on these guys. I really like doing kind of orange plasma glow. So the kind of technique I use for that is I block in the plasma coil with Blood Angels Red contrast paint first. Make sure you get a nice solid coat with that. When that's fully on and fully dried, you dry brush the area with a light coat of a nice white paint, fairly simple. And then you give the whole thing a wash of Phoenix Orange, which is a Green Stuff World paint again. It's one of their intensity ink colors. And it makes the whole thing pop. Obviously the deeper recesses of the coils are still a rich red, and then the brighter kind of higher points with the white dry brush hit becomes this kind of intense orange glow color. The bigger the plasma coils, the more the effect kind of works. It looks really cool on a plasma pistol. Maybe it doesn't jump out too much, but I really like the effect. Of course, after that, I added in my trusty transfers. I will never leave home without adding transfers to just about everything ever. So we gave him a nice Space Wolf symbol on one. I went for a nice red paw symbol on his other shoulder pad, and then a nice runic symbol on his shin. And this was the result. I popped him off his temporary base. And then I've kind of pre-done all these bases. If you want to know how I did these, I'll leave a link below to my Space Wolf basing style. But they're basically 3D printed base toppers and then painting and stuff like that. So I got a whole bunch of them ready for this army. I put some snow on already, but basically what I do is I wait till I've then glued the model onto its new base, and then I do a second layer of snow, filling in around the feet and adding it in to kind of the level that I really want. Because these guys are wolf scouts and they'll be kind of foraging out and stuff, I decided to go for a little bit of extra snow, touched lightly around the model. I didn't go crazy, I don't want built up snow on his, like everywhere, but a little bit on his chest, a little bit built up on his backpack and his arms, tiny bits, just to make it look like he's kind of stomping through a blizzard. And with that, we have our finished new Kill Team Space Wolf Scout. Really pleased with the final result. Hopefully you guys are too. Make sure, if you enjoyed it, like the video, drop a comment if you have any questions, and make sure you're subscribed, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I'll see you in the next one.